Hello, welcome back to cryptomentals.com. Today we're going to look at Eternity. Token is ERN, and Eternity is a layer 2 blockchain that focuses on the entertainment industry. Basically provides entertainment brands and franchises with the platform to jump on the blockchain and create some fan experiences along the lines of NFTs and creator tokens and stuff like that. And they also have a digital rights management protocol that's basically copywriting for digital assets, and they've thrown in some sort of AI pitch with that. So they have some AI derived digital rights management system. In general, it feels pretty interesting. Still just launched the testnet, so this thing's just in beta, in testnet. It's a little, hard to say what's going to happen down the road, but definitely early in the development of this project. It did launch, the token generation event was back in 2021, in early 2021, and they did rebrand a little bit, or not necessarily rebrand, but the project changed a little bit. Originally, it was just an NFT marketplace, if I remember correctly. It was focused mostly just on NFTs, and they've definitely expanded that now. Won't get into all those details right now. There's a write-up on the blog if you want to read a little bit more about this. Jump into the charts here real quick, because, again, the charts are always the end-all decider for me. I'm not going to buy anything that doesn't have a chart that looks good to me. Good news is trade location on ERN here is really good. And like most of the market, it's just starting to bottom. Most of the altcoin market is starting to try to bottom, but I don't think we can argue that the bottom's in and we're ready to turn around and go right into a ripper bull. And in terms of cycle timing in general, it's same story applies to all these altcoins. I think it's a little unreasonable to think we're probably going to start the bull run before the U.S. election. It makes sense to me that the next few months are going to be sort of a grind. These things might drift lower while eventually putting in nice solid double bottoms, hopefully after the election, and then, a bull run into next year would be ideal. And this thing seems to be setting up in that same manner. Now, of course, it had a huge run up in March, like a lot of things did in that February-March rally of this year. This thing ripped all the way up to 880 from its lows of about $1.30 or whatever. I did notice it's interesting they took it right to the highs. This is Coinbase, and there was some other data back here. I'm not sure. We can look at a different chart in a minute. I don't know if it was higher. I don't think it was, but it's funny they took it right to that high was 880 also, and they ripped it right up to 880 and just turned it on a dime off the Coinbase high there from March of 2022. And then currently just gotten obliterated like a lot of things. M-top came in. They even retested the M a couple times. So if you were trying to short this thing, those were areas, anytime you see like a market structure top and then price bouncing back up into it, short location, and then they just destroyed this thing, took it all the way back down to the bottom, and now it's just sitting in a really nice location at the bottom of the range below 88.6 fib. I mean, if you draw fibs off the range here, we're now below 88.6, and we just slammed all the way down into the old W. Very nice W breakout here, and this is exactly what I want to see happen again. You can see how the rounded out bottom started coming in, eventually put in a W, broke out the W, even retested it for several weeks here. I mean, there's 4 weeks to buy that, which I did buy that W. So I'm looking for something similar to this down here, and you can see now we haven't gotten there yet, but we did. This last week was a little brutal in crypto, big dump, slammed right down into the old W breakout level. So location's great here. Anytime I see price slam all the way down into the original double bottom breakout, that's support right there for sure. It's not a surprise to see a bounce there, and you can see it's trying to bounce. I mean, it even came down into that $1.65 and bounced as high as 209. It looks like 210, even higher. So pretty big bounce, and then just most of that's been taken back already this week. because the bottom's not really in, but it's not a huge surprise to see a bounce there. I did take a nibble here, I love to see that for location price down into the W breakout, previous W breakout below 78.6. In this case, we're way below 88.6 even. Now, has it bottomed? No. And so could these lows be taken out easily? So like all of these, it's best to wait for a true bottom to come in. But nonetheless, the location's really good. So moving on to the indicators a little bit here, just a couple comments. I mean, RSI, this is sort of going on all over altcoins right now. RSI is not oversold. So like it still could easily, you kind of want to see RSI touch oversold at least before the bottom comes in. That would be a nice thing to have happen. But most altcoins are hovering above oversold here. And so that kind of leads me to believe there's still lower prices ahead before the real bottom comes in. But with that said, you can see back here, they W'd out RSI above oversold, kind of same area it is right now. So that doesn't mean it has to touch oversold. It's just we want to see these things fully bled out, and RSI being oversold is a good sign that everybody that was going to capitulate has. But that hasn't happened yet. So the indicator's kind of like, okay, lower, suggests lower to me, but it is trying to W here. So if RSI can break out here and make a W, that'll be a divergence because we're making lower lows here, and then RSI will be in divergence. But that's not yet. In fact, it just sort of suggests we probably have to grind a little lower. And OBV backs that up too, because really with OBV, we have this lower high here. We're basically threatening to M out. If OBV truly M's out here, then that's not a great look for the bulls. However, OBV could W here with RSI, and that would be nice. So we're sort of just waiting. If they can pump it up this week here and actually make a W there, that would be nice for OBV, and that would probably make this RSI W as well. So that'll be like a nice momentum confirmation. So then, of course, the last thing and most important thing. So if these W's come in, great, location's good here, but do we actually have a double bottom to work from? And the answer is no. So, maybe it comes in right here, like off those levels, but, where it's too early to say, maybe it also comes in lower, but the key is really, if you want to make this easy, wait for this double bottom to come in and then jump in. That's not yet. And this is a state with most of these altcoins. And like I said, it's going to take a few months for these to come in. So we're just in sort of like holding pattern mode, hunting mode, looking for things to get ready to see these W's come in so that we can jump on them when they happen. So waiting for double bottoms, but in general, I like this from a technical standpoint. It's just I need to wait for all of those reasons to come in before I get too excited for the bottom. Last thing I'll say about this from a technical standpoint is I do like how OBV in general has been trending higher. This is always a good sign. So, you can see going all the way back to the lows here from June of 2022, that OBV low was put in, and we've basically just making higher highs and higher lows with, almost a new high. Actually, yeah, a new high here. So we've made a new high. So OBV is trending higher across this whole bottoming period, which hopefully you can see can you imagine this is a giant bottom? Like if this really is like this could be like a giant W down the road is kind of what I'm hoping. Nice bottom there with the run up. And now we do the same thing again. My drawing's a little crappy. And we take off much higher. So, hopefully you could see the possibility of something like that coming in, and OBV being trending higher like this is a good sign. It just means the money's flowing into the asset, not out of. So I like that too. So that's it for the technical side. Really quick on just some of the fundamental stuff. I think I got coin market cap here somewhere. There's this. So I like the small caps because of the upside. And this thing is a 40 million market cap today. It was already 7 or so X higher. So yeah, the market cap was quite a bit higher just this year. That was February of this year that it hit 880. So just, it's at 180 today. So move back to 880 is already a substantial move. But I mean, this thing's number 556 on the list right now for market cap, 40 million market cap. I could see a 10X or plus out of this. maybe gets up to 500 million that's not completely unreasonable. That'll just put it in like the top, I don't know, 200 to 300 coins. So 500 million is super reasonable. And honestly, I mean, we have meme coins over 1 billion market cap now. So who knows if this thing really gets it together? It's the kind of thing that could produce a lot of upside. So I love that low market cap. And then I also like the fact there's only 30 million coins out. I do like low coin count issues, and 21.6 million of them are circulating. So basically there's 9 million or so, 8.5 million still going to be issued. And I think those are mostly staking rewards, and they'll be issued over time. And I don't think that's going to produce a huge big wallop of selling pressure at one moment, because they're issued over time, and there's no token unlocks. Well, that's not true. The team has there's still a little bit of an unlock on the team, I believe, but all the investors have had time to sell in the past, so hopefully they sold on that big run up to 880. There was a pre-sale, or there was a private sale and a public sale few years ago that amounted to 10 million coins. So a third of the coins were sold at a public sale in a sale at 27.5 cents. So those people are way up, even at the lows here at $1.80. But I mean, it was a couple years ago, so chances are most of them have sold if they were going to sell, especially when things ripped up to 880. And so I'm thinking that, I don't think there's a huge VC selling pressure on this coin, which is a good sign. It's not like there's just a huge chunk of the coins sitting there ready to be unlocked here, and they were purchased at 27 cents. So even at the lows here, they could just get dumped and still be up 6 or 7x. So that's a good sign too. And you can see the fully diluted market cap's only 54 million. So still same, 10xers are I think 10x is reasonable from these levels here. So I like that. Other than that, I mean, it's an Ethereum coin, but it looks like you can maybe buy it on Polygon too and save on some fees. But other than that, the actual ERN token is sitting on the Ethereum blockchain, and then this is a layer 2 blockchain that's built on Optimism. So the fees to operate on this chain when it is launched are going to be really low. But the coin itself is ERC20 on the Ethereum mainnet. Anyhow, I'll leave it at that for today. In general, I like the ideas of this ERN, and definitely once that W comes in, I'm going to be super interested. I am taking some small nibbles now, buying back some coins that I sold in this run-up, and I'm just hopefully going to just rinse and repeat on this thing. If you want to read a little bit more about it, you can go to cryptomentals.com, and there is a write-up on the blog, and I will just see you guys on the next one. Take care.